Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger, the podcast where we watch an episode of the television series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then afterwards we have a bit of a chat about it.
Go, go, Ranger Danger! Go, go, Ranger Danger! Go, go, Ranger Danger! Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger!
Alright, so we're going to watch episode number 57 on the show today,
Yep.
which is entitled Enter Ellipsis the Lizzinator.
It's not called Ellipsis the Lizzinator. I just want to make that clear.
I wish it was. But before we get to that, I'd like to tell you that our website is www.rangerdangerpodcast.com, where you can find show notes and our creature feature, which is our list of monster rankings and all sorts of stuff. You can find us on Twitter, which is @RangerDcast. You can send us an email, which is rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com, because we love emails very much.
We do.
And you can also subscribe to the show on iTunes and on Stitcher and on YouTube. And we're on Google+, if you're one of the 3 people in the world that likes using Google+. So Tim, you're back on the show.
I am. I'm here.
Well, welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for that intro.
Okay, right, sure, yep.
Episode over. No. We've got a few things we're going to discuss on the show today, because we just seem to have a lot to talk about.
It's been a good couple of weeks for finding Power Rangers stuff.
It has been a good couple of weeks. So first of all, Ranger Danger superfan Kelsey was kind enough to send us a link to the Simon Cowell produced Power Rangers remix.
Yes, we discussed it in our first podcast,
That's right.
but hadn't found a copy.
Yeah. So Kelsey tracked it down for us, which
Yep.
we very much appreciate. And then we listened to it. Who wants to weigh in on what happened to our ears when we listened to that?
I know it's terrible, but I kind of love it.
Why do you love it? Explain that to me.
Okay, here's the thing. When we first discussed it, I thought I had not heard it before.
Yeah.
But after the Go-Go Power Rangers, there's that trumpet fill
Yeah.
before the sting that's in the normal one.
Yeah.
I hear that every time I hear the theme in
That's
my head.
bizarre.
I must have, unless it's in a later version of the theme.
I think I do as well. I think I've been feeling that in my head
Right?
also.
So I don't know if it's in, like, the Season 3 theme,
And it's not something Simon Cowell made up.
or, like, Simon Cowell made it up and then
They
used it in the theme, and so I'm, like, remembering it from a different version.
The trumpet fill is the bit that makes me want to flip over the desk in anger.
Right, and why is that?
Because, like we discussed before, one of the things that makes the Power Rangers theme so great is for a kids' TV show, it's a super metal song.
Yeah, sure.
And what this does is takes the basic element of the Power Rangers theme
Yep.
and takes all the metal bits of it and then fills it over with either shitty electronica or stupid trumpet noises.
Matt, I'm gonna have to argue with you there. Trumpets make everything better.
No,
That's just science.
I don't think they're real trumpets.
Trumpets are musical bacon. That's something that I've said in the past, and I stand by it.
Yeah, look, I normally like trumpets. This was not a good
I think
usage.
they're robot trumpets. I think they're 90s robot trumpets.
Well, I'm sorry, but you say that like, oh yeah, they're not good. They're robot trumpets.
They aren't.
It's like, oh no, they're not good. They're robot blowjob bacon trumpets.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Took a tangent there.
We've finally found what Michael's into.
I mean, well, who isn't, right?
Well, me.
I would say people in general. Alright, that's pretty much all I had to say about that.
Okay, sure. There'll be a link to that in the show notes if you want to check it out. Thank you again. No, you should.
Don't.
You might, look, honestly, if you agree that the trumpets are good or have anything you want to say, let us know.
Yeah, that's hashtag pro trumpet or hashtag anti trumpet.
At Ranger Dcast.
Yeah, it'll be trending on Twitter soon.
The second thing was we found a link to some cleaned up, like, original Japanese Zyranger footage.
Yes.
There's not a lot to say other than that it is beautiful.
It looks so good. The fact that we never saw this on Power Rangers breaks my heart. It looks... Because when you're watching Power Rangers, you've got the American footage, which quality-wise looks okay.
It looks like an average kind of 90s TV show.
Yeah, then you cut to the Zai footage and it looks terrible.
Old and shitty and grainy. And...
like it's on film that's just been left sitting in a dusty cupboard for 3 years and then was just sent straight through the machine.
Which, to be honest, it probably was.
That's right. But this cleaned up footage looks like Goldar looks golden and shiny. The
Yep.
Megazord looks great.
Yeah. It actually, although the one thing it does is it kind of removes the effect of them looking giant.
A little bit.
It somehow looks like
More
more
real.
real.
Yeah.
It's like the like 60 frames per second stuff.
Yep.
It removes a level of the grain.
Yep.
And just makes everyone look like, oh, that's just a dude on a set.
Yeah.
But even if they'd only used it for the like land fighting scenes, it's just really good stuff.
Yeah. So you're anti 60 frames per second films?
I just
Not that this is the place for this debate.
Sure. I'm not anti it
Yeah.
necessarily. I just think like there's going to be an awkward period of transition if we decide to use it where movies look shitty for a while people are figuring it out.
Okay. So did you see The Hobbit in 60 frames per second?
I believe I did.
Okay. Because I got why people didn't like it, but I
Sure.
also liked a lot of it. I thought, especially the scenes with a lot of tracking shots,
Yep.
looked so much better because he didn't have that weird stilted.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
that's Range Danger cinematography danger. I
Yep.
guess.
Hashtag pro or anti 60 FPS. This is a very divided episode this week. Matt, we got an email.
Yes.
It's quite long,
Yep.
but if you would like to read it,
Okay.
it's from Rick,
Thank you, Rick.
who liked us on Facebook during the week and then sent us an email.
Fantastic. So the subject line of this email is fan mail! Exclamation mark. So that's a good way to start. Hi guys, I discovered the podcast a couple of weeks ago and I'm enjoying it so much. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I've been burning through episodes way too quickly. There's no such thing as too quickly, Rick. I was planning on one episode a day, but found myself listening to 3 or 4 in a row. Oops. Okay, maybe that is too quickly. Maybe see a doctor.
I don't know that I can take that much of me in a day. Good job, but
I'm having so much fun revisiting old episodes and hearing you guys be as baffled as I am by what they've done with the Zio Ranger footage. I find myself laughing out loud a lot, especially at the bits I shouldn't find that funny. Poop jokes, your pronunciation of Titanus, sounds like tight anus, etc. Oh wow, okay.
Have you been saying Titanus? Because
I mean, I may have been
I'm going to be very aware of that when tight anus comes
super
back.
careful now.
to say it every time.
Yeah. I love Titanus.
The carrier Zord, you got to fit that whole Megazord in his back.
Yeah.
In the survey, I saw something about you guys maybe doing a commentary track as a special episode, which I think sounds awesome. It would make watching the show a lot more fun. I mean, I love Power Rangers, but after a couple of episodes, it tends to become pretty exhausting. Yeah, it does.
Can I just interrupt and say, Matt and I are thinking we're about a year out from the movie now.
Yeah.
And so we were thinking about, what are we going to do to make it special?
Yeah.
And I pitched to Matt that starting now, we should watch the movie once a week
Yeah.
and record 52 commentary tracks.
Yeah. My response to that was, fuck you, go and die, basically. Because, look, I struggled to watch that movie once.
I just think after the 40th time, you're going to get Stockholm Syndrome. You'll start loving it again.
I don't think so. I think after 40th time, I'll be in hospital and have to get a blood transfusion.
From someone who loves Power Rangers.
No, the opposite of that. Where was I?
Second paragraph.
Thank you. I hope the upcoming movie can select the good parts and leave the awful parts behind. Yeah, us too. But let's face it, they're probably going to cram Bulk and Skull in there somehow. I think they kind of have to.
I'd be disappointed if the movie doesn't have Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
Do you mean actual Bulk and Skull? Like original Bulk and Skull?
Part
Or
of
do
me
you mean
really wants them to
characters?
get the original Bulk and Skull and have them play high school teenagers and just be themselves.
You know what would be really cool? Seth Rogen and James Franco with Bulk and Skull. I would watch that. Don't you think that would be great?
pretty good.
I'm down for anything as long as the music plays, and I mean like
Yeah.
probably a nicer, updated version, but
No,
just,
it has to be
same way.
yeah.
Diddle-diddle-diddle.
Because as soon as you start playing it, everyone in the theater who watched the show would just get this immediate sense of dread.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's happening from the first 2 notes. Anyway, still, I'm super excited for the hot mess that the movie's going to be. I've already arranged for me and 4 friends to go see it while dressed color coordinated like the Power Rangers because we're adults. That's great. And look, frankly, I applaud anyone who does that.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to do that. Don't you think, Michael?
I'm-
Grab a group of friends.
I mostly only have black t-shirts.
That's fine.
but-
You're going as Black Power Ranger. Easy
Okay,
done.
sure.
My favourite part of the podcast so far is how much you guys enjoy Rita and her penny farthing. I too am kind of obsessed with Rita's ridiculous old-timey bike, which is why I was inspired to make this dumb Ranger Danger fan art. Fan art, hang on, we'll open that in just a sec. If you ever decide to make t-shirts, I vote for something like this to be on them. I consider the penny farthing to be your unofficial mascot. XOXO, Rick. P.S. Just left you a 5-star review on the Dutch iTunes store, which will get you approximately 0 new listeners.
Woo! We've got a Dutch fan. That's cool.
Yeah, that is
Thank
really
you,
cool.
Rick.
And we really appreciate people leaving iTunes reviews.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So thank you. Now, opening Rick's fan art now. And, wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is amazing. So what we're looking at is the moonshot from E.T.
Yep.
Except with Rita on her penny farthing.
Yeah, that's
crossing in front of
incredible.
Yeah, that is A-class stuff.
I think we almost have to do t-shirts
I mean,
now.
it's t-shirt ready, isn't it? It's perfect.
It is.
Like,
It is perfect, and it's beautiful. Like
it's
aside from the
good to go, yeah.
yeah, aside from the Power Rangers link, it's just a nice looking shirt.
Yeah, we might have to send you an email, Rick. We'll have a chat about that and
Yeah.
see what we can do. 'Cause
Beautiful.
That would be nifty.
Beautiful. Okay. Cool.
All right. Thank you very much, Rick. I'll put a link to Rick's got, looks like he's got a Tumblr and a website. So
If everything Rick does is that good, I think you should check everything Rick does.
I'll make sure
Out.
there's a link in the show notes. There was one last thing we were going to talk about this week, Matt.
Yeah.
We were talking, I don't even remember how it came up.
On one of the Power Rangers fan groups on Facebook, they were posting photos of like ideal teams of Power Rangers.
Sure.
And you pitched to me, like, who would you want if they did another Once a Ranger?
Yep.
So for those who don't know, in Operation Overdrive 5 or so years ago, they did an episode where they got a group of 5 past Rangers back to replace the Operation Overdrive Rangers when they lost their powers briefly.
Yep.
And that was Adam as the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger.
Yep.
And some Disney Rangers.
No, okay. Kira, the yellow Dino Thunder Ranger.
Yep.
And like 3 others, I don't know.
Xander from Mystic Force.
Sure.
The Blue Ranger from SBD, except now he was the Red Ranger because he got a promotion.
Oh, good on him.
And there was someone else.
Does that mean that they wanted to get the Red Ranger back, but he couldn't do it?
Probably.
So, that was the suit that they had cleaned up and restored. So
yeah. They probably just needed a Red Ranger. And it was the Blue Mystic Force. No, sorry, Blue Ninja Storm.
okay,
Yep.
sure. All right, that's a pretty good team from what I know of those guys.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
So Matt and I decided that we'd pick based on like what we've seen and what we know.
yeah.
Our dream teams.
Yeah.
And obviously we're working at a disadvantage because there's a lot of that Disney stuff that we're not.
Super familiar.
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Matt, there were some rules.
there were a few rules. Yeah.
One Ranger of every color,
Yep.
which is red, blue, yellow, pink, and green, black,
Yeah. Green or black. Yeah.
and then a 6th Ranger.
Yeah. So,
Um,
for example, Tommy's the Green Ranger wouldn't count as a Green Ranger because he's a special, like,
Yes.
extra Ranger, I guess.
The one Ranger at maximum from every season.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just pick all 5 Mighty Morphin Rangers.
Yep.
Because then you just have, oh, good job, you've invented the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
yeah.
And Matt, you added some of your own rules.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't want anyone on there that had served on the team together, except for the 6th Ranger, because that made it a bit difficult for me.
Sure.
So I didn't want, for example, like the later team of Turbo Rangers with the Space Rangers, just because I wanted enough variety that it felt like
Yep,
I
sure.
was drawing from different
From
areas.
different eras of the show. Yep.
And I also didn't want a whitewash team as well, basically.
That's fine.
Yep.
And it turned out my team fit all of those rules as well.
Perfect. All right. So do you want to tell me what your team was?
I tried to guess Matt's team
Okay.
based on like a couple of bits of information.
Yeah.
I had nothing.
You couldn't get it?
No, I figured you told me you had Adam or Zach as your Black Ranger.
Yep.
And from there, I
Couldn't do
I
it?
couldn't do it. So can you tell me?
Okay.
I'll show you. I've got some like vague guesses on my phone.
All right.
But we'll see how many of those I got correct.
So for my Red Ranger,
Yep.
I picked Connor from Dino Thunder.
Oh, interesting.
Now, the reason I picked that is because I quite like Dino Thunder as a season, and I wanted something from the Disney era because I figured that, like, my rest of the team is pretty Saban era.
Okay,
heavy.
sure.
And he's a pretty decent Red Ranger. I like Dino Thunder. I like the idea of having a bit of a younger, less experienced Red Ranger because the rest of the team's pretty veteran heavy.
Sure.
With a lot of people with leadership experience and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And I wanted Kira from Dino Thunder in there, but she was in the last one to Ranger, so I was like, you know what, let's mix
She's
that
had
up.
a turn.
She's had a turn,
Yeah,
exactly.
fair enough.
So, yeah, that's that one. For Pink, I had Jen from Time Force,
Okay.
which is Erin Cahill, because she's quite a good actor. I haven't seen much Time Force at all, but I like the fact that she's got a bit of a leadership position, good acting skills, just a cool Ranger in general. My alternate for that, by the way, was going to be Corone from Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got written down.
There we go.
Guess.
So you almost got that one.
Yep.
Yellow, I had Gia from Super Mega Force.
Yep.
Now, Yellow was a super hard one. That was the last one. And I found that there were no Yellow Rangers I really wanted that weren't from seasons that I already had sort of Rangers from. And I figured it would be good to have someone from a very recent season.
Sure.
Just so there's, a good representation across the board, I guess. Blue was TJ from In Space.
Yep.
TJ's awesome, so, that's pretty much it. In Space is one of the greatest seasons of Power Rangers.
Yep.
He's a cool dude, so there's that.
Can I just say, I stumbled across some Turbo footage.
Yeah.
I really like TJ.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah. Black, as you mentioned, is Adam from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yep.
Now, he was in Once a Ranger, the first one.
Yep.
But
also, it's Adam.
Yeah, he's my favorite Power Ranger.
Yeah.
One of the best actors, really good at martial arts. Coolest dude.
Yeah, I don't think that's an unfair call.
Yeah. And my special Ranger was Jason as the Gold Zeo Ranger.
Yep.
Because Austin St. John is incredibly cool dude.
Yep.
He's the original, and he's I think probably one of the best special rangers there is.
Okay, well, this is unfortunate because we share 5 out of 6.
Oh boy! Okay.
You end up with very similar teams working with those restrictions, I think. And given that we've seen mostly the same seasons.
Yeah. So I'm guessing red is the one that we've got different.
Red is the one we've got different.
Yep.
Actually, I'm going to swap my pink and I'm going to let her be Corone.
Okay.
Because then we've got a difference. And also, she's a great character.
She is. She was... that was a hard choice for me.
Yeah. The reason I thought you might not go with that is so your blue could be Archie from Lost Galaxy.
Archie's pretty cool.
Because I'm sure on multiple occasions when we've talked about Rangers who've gone on to acting careers, you've said, don't forget Archie.
Yeah. That's just because he's on CSI, and I used to love CSI. So.
Who didn't? So for my Red Ranger, I went for the second Red Samurai Ranger, who is Lauren.
Yep. I had that thought as well, but I was like, I've literally never seen an episode. So just been me saying that in concept.
Yep. And that's exactly why I made that choice. Yes.
So
I think having a female Red Ranger on the team
is awesome.
Absolutely. It gives it an even split 3-3.
Yep.
Which is a good call.
Yep.
Yeah. Although I will say, for my 6th Ranger, can I cheat?
Yep.
And have Andros borrow the Silver Morpher from Zane?
No.
Okay. Can I reveal that the Phantom Ranger was Andros all along?
No.
Okay, then it's going to be Jason. That's fine. I needed to try. It was worth a shot.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've seen photos of Andros from cons recently.
Yes. He looks like a professor.
He does look like a professor, which is a bit weird, which is fine. Like, he hasn't been on Power Rangers for like 10, 15 years. You're not required to look like your Power Ranger.
No, I'm pretty sure you are. It's in the contract. You must forever look like a Power Ranger.
No.
Just in case they want you back. So, if you have a dream team, work with those rules.
Yep.
Send it in to us.
Yep.
If we get them, we'll read them.
Don't work with those rules, man. Fight the system.
If you just want to pick like 5 Red Rangers and have 5 Red Rangers come back, they already did that, but with 10.
Yep.
Don't do that. That's lazy and they've already done it. Do something else. 5 Pink Rangers. I reckon you could pick 5 good Pink Rangers.
There's some pretty good Pink Rangers.
Yeah. Some of the colours are much harder to choose than other colours.
Yeah, like yellow, for example. Anyway.
And no matter how you try, you can't get TJ and Andros on the same team.
No, you can't.
Even if you really want to.
All right, so we're finally going to go watch
Enter the Lizzinator.
Yeah. Oh, I know why the ellipsis is there, and it's because when you say Enter the Lizzinator, it sounds bad.
It's going to be some sort of lizard Terminator, right? Actually, no, it's not. It's just going to be a lizard monster.
Absolutely.
It's like Cardiotron was just a heart.
Yeah. The Terminator part is way too much to hope for.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It was the mid-90s. They'd seen a Terminator movie or two.
Yeah, but they're also adapting from...
That's true. Okay, so we're gonna go watch Enter the Lizzinator.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a sec.
And we're back. We just watched Enter Ellipsis the Lizzinator.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
Was it?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty down the middle on this one.
You guys are all negative Nancy's.
Shall we just run through it?
Let's
from the
run
top?
through it.
Okay, so we open in the juice bar,
Yep.
where Kimberly's newfound cousin,
Yep.
newfound to us,
You
not
found cousin.
to her, not to us.
If the cousin is her uncle's child,
Yeah,
and her
Is it
mum is
possible?
now dating her uncle,
yeah,
does that mean she could become her stepsister cousin?
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I prefer not to think about Kimberly's weird family tree.
It's just messed
Not that
up.
it's weird to have a weird family, although I
It's
guess it
kind-
is.
weird to
It's
have
kind of
an
weird for
uncle.
your mum to marry your uncle after she divorces your dad. That's
And
kind
just
of
to
weird.
be clear, that uncle, is it her brother?
Well, the show is unclear, but it's the same actor.
With the same name, right?
I believe so.
So
No, but wait, the
I-
same name as who?
As her dad's, I think it's her dad's brother.
Okay, it's her dad's brother.
Yes,
So it's not incestuous.
I don't think
It's
so.
just it
just
seems
weird.
odd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, Kimberly's younger cousin in
Yep.
junior high.
Whose name is
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly is learning to be a cheerleader
Yep.
with the world's least catchy cheer. At
I don't
least
remember any of it.
I remember it having go fight,
win,
win.
yeah.
I mean, it's odd that I don't think fighting is something that you cheerlead for, unless you're at the karate tournament. Like, fight! Punch him!
I mean, as far as I can
Kick him
tell,
in
the
the head.
official sport of Angel Grove is martial arts.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
maybe they do like cheer
Yeah.
at fighting matches.
Is that odd that there's not like high school sports teams, given that that's such a thing?
I'm pretty sure the next episode is called Football Season or something
Never
like
mind.
that. So
There it is.
I'm sure that we will tackle that next week.
Tackle.
Hey!
So Kelly is much like the soccer kid we saw a few episodes ago.
Yep.
In that she's so hilariously inept that it makes...
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Right, before we get to that, she's allegedly inept.
Yeah.
We watch like maybe a 1 minute and a half cheer.
Yeah.
She fucks up the timing on the last word.
Oh, yeah, she does it...
She definitely looks like a person who is pretending to be shit. Like,
She does it perfectly for most of it, and then he just gets it hilariously wrong in a way that no one could at the
Yeah.
end.
It's like if you just say win.
Yeah.
win.
Win!
Oh
Like-
no.
Oh
My timing
no,
was
I'm
up.
I'm the worst cheerleader in the world.
There's... I think it makes it really hard to have a convincing arc where someone overcomes their challenges to succeed.
Yes, because she has to be good at it when we shoot it this afternoon.
Yeah,
But she has to be bad at it when we shoot it this morning.
that's right. So it'd be okay if she's like, oh, I'm not quite there yet, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make it over the line in time.
Sure.
Whereas what they've been presenting us is, I'm absolutely terrible at this thing,
Yep.
and I need to be good by this afternoon. And then the Power Ranger's like, no, you just have to believe in yourself, you know? Which would be okay if it's like, I just need to push through this last bit.
Sure.
Not, I need to learn new skills that
mean,
I don't
if
have.
she's terrible, believing in herself is not going to get
not
her
gonna
across the
solve the
line
problem.
this
That's what I'm
afternoon.
saying. Absolutely.
Unless they just decide to create a whole extra cheer squad for all of the shitty kids who are no good at it. Because that was
believe in
that
themselves.
was our solution last time. Let's just have there's a second soccer team now.
All right. Anyway,
I'd like to say Kelly's in junior high.
Yeah.
Now the American high school system is entirely stupid to me, but I believe that that's like year 7 and 8.
I think so.
Mm.
Yeah. Why stupid to you?
Because they have like a middle high, like a bit in the middle. They've got like 3 groups, but one of them is 2 years long.
Well,
Yeah, they just break it up into more pieces.
Yeah, that's
I,
dumb.
I went through that exact system. Just like 'cause
Yeah,
I-
but you went
I
to school
had-
in Canberra. Canberra's
no,
not
but
a real
that was in
place.
Sydney as well.
Really?
I had primary school, and they had 4 years of high school, and there was college, which is 2 years, which is 11 and 12. So that's exactly the same amount
Hold
of
on,
groups.
hold on.
But isn't there 4 years of high school called junior high and middle school? Isn't it split in half?
I'm not
Isn't
sure.
that how that works?
Okay, because not everyone does year 11 and 12 necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone does
Right.
high school.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so education systems around the world are stupid, basically.
Yeah. Did you know? I think it's in France.
Yeah, they're numbered.
They
horrifically.
count down.
Whoa,
Like you start at 13 and you end up at 1.
that's bizarre.
No, I think that's somewhere else, and France has like just letters, like acronyms and stuff. Like they're just named stuff. They're not numbered.
What concerns me is whenever there's a countdown of any sort, I hear the disaster music from Thunderbirds.
Right. Okay.
I'm worried that I would have gone through my entire schooling life with
Hearing it constantly.
that really impending doom disaster music from Thunderbirds.
But
playing.
so anyway, she's like, how old are you? 13, 14?
Sure.
Maybe.
12, maybe 12, 13.
It really highlights how much older than they should be the guys playing the Power Rangers are.
Yeah.
And like it's only by a year or two.
Yeah.
But the drastic difference between those two people who were allegedly like 3 or 4 years apart
Yeah.
is really obvious.
Yeah. One is clearly a child and one is clearly an adult.
An
Yeah.
adult, yeah.
So Rita thinks that they should be cheering for her
Yeah.
because
She doesn't understand cheering.
Seems like a pretty slim plot this week. Like,
and so then she's going to send down the Lizzinator, who we'll get to in a sec. And then Squatt and Baboo are like, and we'll kidnap Kelly, I guess.
for no reason.
No.
to get her to cheer for them.
But, I mean, I assumed that the plan was like, we'll beat the Power Rangers, take over the world, and then everyone will have to cheer for us.
No, I think the plan was by getting Kelly to cheer for us, we'll be invigorated and it will make us all feel
Well, I
ace.
mean,
Now-
but they get her to cheer.
Let's think carefully about that plan.
Sure.
If you're going to steal someone to cheer for you,
Mm.
you don't get the person who just failed at that one thing. You get a professional cheerleader.
I mean, Rita's an idiot, though.
That's
so-
true.
Squatt and Baboo are not the sharpest tools in the shed, that's fair. Also, it's creepy to kind of grown men deciding to kidnap a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, it
And take her to a cave.
And take it to, like, it's just... And the show doesn't really go out of its way to make it not creepy either.
No.
Um,
I mean, the only thing that would have made it more creepy if they, like chloroformed her or something. Like, had a rag in a bottle.
but,
like,
like,
come
there
on.
is a scene coming up where they drag her away from a park.
Yeah, that's
like-
true. Oh, uncomfortable.
So, the other Rangers come in after they've had this conversation with Kelly.
Yeah.
And Jason immediately gets interrupted by Ernie.
Yeah.
He has to go pick up some
supplies
food,
from
some
downtown.
supplies, because the truck's broken down or something.
They do a lot for Ernie. Like, they go out of their way
Yeah,
for
I
that
mean,
dude.
they're basically working for that guy.
Yeah.
Because I presume he runs, like, the youth center as well.
Yeah.
And they're constantly doing classes and workshops and...
Because when Jason enters the scene, Ernie basically says, "I'm glad you're here because I need something done."
Yeah.
Which is super presumptive.
But I mean, he's also not put out by it. He's like, yeah, I can do that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's because Jason's a super good guy.
Yeah.
An interesting thing I read online during the week is that whenever Ernie gives the Rangers, like, food and drink,
Yeah.
he tells them it's on the house.
Yeah, that's true.
And the reason for that is because they originally wanted to have the plot be that he figured out that they were the Power Rangers
Ah.
and that he couldn't, like, say anything because maybe they'd have to kill him or who knows what.
But he's paying them
his
back.
way of, like,
Thanking
saying
them.
thank you is just their food and drink is free, which would have been really nice.
That would
I
be
think.
nice.
I think that's a nice bit of plot, and I think given that they don't end up using it,
Yeah.
use it in a new season, guys.
What?
Like,
Oh, you mean that
not
story.
Ernie, because
Okay,
unfortunately Richard Janelle passed away like a decade ago.
And also, that's a 20-something year payoff.
Yeah, no,
That one more
I'm not
for
saying
him.
have Ernie come back and say, I figured out these 5 kids were the Power Rangers, and then you guys are new, so I guess you can have... No, I'd say, like, the new Ernie
Yeah,
could figure out that they're the Power Rangers and give them free food.
that's nice.
Okay, so the kid actor, Kelly,
Yeah.
she's not terrible,
No.
but I think she's probably like a gymnast or cheerleader or dancer chosen to act rather than the other way around.
Absolutely. Like everyone on this show.
Yeah. But you know, she sells her lines and she...
Well,
I mean, in as much as anybody on this show
that's true.
does.
That's true.
I've seen a copy of a Jason David Frank script
Mm.
where all of his lines have next to them the emotion that he needs to convey in the lines, like worry or yelling. They're beautiful as a kind of
Because what he's
artifact.
not is a reader.
Well, you might forget what "we're gonna stop you," like what emotion that is. Am I meant to be sad when I say that? I don't know.
We're gonna stop you.
I guess if
Sad
we-
face. Right. Okay.
So they're at the park
yeah.
where Kelly is sitting on a swing, being lonely and moping.
Yeah. So
because-
there's two swings
Yep.
here.
This
In
is a
walks
good moment.
Kimberly and Tommy. Tommy asks, "Is there room for two more?"
No, there's not.
No.
There's only one more swing.
Yeah.
There actually isn't room for two more.
That's not a hard one to figure out. You only have to deal with two numbers there.
maybe
Yeah.
he
None
was,
of them higher than three.
maybe he was hoping that someone would sit on someone's lap,
I see.
either creepily or not. You can arrange those three people however you prefer.
I'm gonna say no.
Uh,
That's what I'm gonna say.
I'll just say if Kelly doesn't get her own swing, it's a bit weird.
It's not like one of those logic puzzles.
Yeah, there's two swings and three people.
And a fox and two chickens. You have to get
no,
them
a
all
fox, a
over
chicken,
the
and
bridge.
a cabbage.
And a cabbage.
The fox won't eat the cabbage, but if Tommy sits on Kelly's lap, he'll
That's
crush her.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
So we have our.
Designated putty fight.
Well, before we get that, we get our designated. You can believe in yourself.
Oh,
talk.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we can
I think that's probably the second one we got. Because didn't she get one at the youth center as well?
Yeah, and then she gets this one again in flashback a bit later.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she gets the message.
Yeah.
Then we do get our designated putty fight. Now, I noticed that when the putties teleport in, we get one that teleports upside down onto the monkey bars.
Yep.
Mm.
Now, my headcanon for this, because remember how last time there was one that
One
teleported
into
onto
a
the
tree.
tree?
Yep.
There's like a select group of putty souls that keep getting
Oh, okay.
Like,
reused.
every time they destroy putties and make new ones. And there's one
right.
that just loves to hang. So he whenever he gets a chance to teleport into somewhere, he'll be hanging from something. So keep your eye
So,
out.
do you think they get to choose where they land?
Yeah, that's my thinking. They like go to the park and like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Or like
to the
most
monkey bars.
of them are like, all right, we're at the park, but he's like, dude, there's a tree, sick one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say what actually happens is that there's one stuntman who really likes hanging.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that that's the actual arrangement, but
Yeah.
that's a kind of nice
So-
universe version.
Yeah, keep your eye out for hanging putty.
Hanging putty. So they fight the putties.
Yep.
It's a pretty good fight. I mean, it's
I
not
like-
special, but
Playground equipment fight.
yep,
Because it gives them something to play off with.
Material to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Rather than just like on the grass fights.
There is a good bit at the kind of the very end of the fight where Kimberly like jump kicks one,
Yeah.
backflips, and then Tommy flies into frame and flying kicks one.
Yeah.
And it's
Pretty
just
good.
that's the thing I think that we've consistently liked is when those fights imply that it's not five small fights happening like in
It's
a
one
circle.
fight, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one fight that's crossing over and interacting.
Yeah, they're trying to manage a group.
Yeah.
So while this is happening, or actually immediately after this happens, they
Yeah.
defeat the putties.
Oh.
And then, I was going to say Bucket Skull.
Squatt and Baboo.
Squatt and Baboo, thank you.
Evil Vulcans.
Evil
Yeah.
Bucket Skull. Teleport in and grab Kelly.
I just want to point out that the plan here, ostensibly anyway, was for the putties to distract the Rangers and for Squatt and Baboo to steal Kelly.
Yep.
So Squatt and Baboo wait until the fight is over to steal Kelly. That's not how
See,
that's meant to work.
Kids can't concentrate on two things at once, okay?
Okay, alright.
Are we fighting putties or are we kidnapping Kelly? We're not doing both.
Alright, that's fair. That's a justification.
So they kidnap her and take her to that one cave in Angel
Yep.
Grove where you take children.
Yeah, I mean, where else would you oh, no, I can't finish that
When we
sentence.
find out where they are,
Yeah.
is it named or does Zordon just say we know where she is?
I think he
and then
tells them
go?
they've got the coordinates.
Yeah. Okay.
And surprise, it's that one cave
Yep.
where children always get taken.
Like 3 or 4 times.
You'd
Yeah.
think you'd like put a camera in there or something.
At the very least, when they're all like, we don't know where they've taken her,
Check
check the
first.
cave.
Yeah.
Check the cave, check Goldar's dungeon. If she's not there, you got no hope.
Well, like maybe you can't check Goldar's dungeon.
No, they had special teleportation dimension sticks.
Is there? Oh, okay. Well, I missed an episode. Is there any proof that cave is on Earth?
Yes.
Yes.
We've seen people walk in and out of
Okay,
that
so
cave.
put a camera in the cave.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
You don't even need to do that because Zordon,
Zordon
can see any
everything.
So all you got does to do is just like
Just look.
check.
Just look.
Just look into the cave.
Anyway,
Zordon's an asshole.
Yes.
Anyway, so we'd assumed that Jason going to pick up supplies was because he wasn't in the fight footage.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Because as Jason is picking up some boxes, out comes the fucking Lizzinator.
What do you say out comes? He bursts through a
He
wall.
punches through drywall. Like, he just explodes through the wall.
He enters the show through a wall. It's pretty great.
And guys, he has an Austrian accent.
Ah.
He's great.
I really...
No.
I don't understand why you don't like it.
Because it's not even a good Austrian accent.
No, it's like me doing an
It's,
Austrian
Yeah,
it's
accent.
a Power Rangers
Yeah.
Austrian accent.
I'll be back.
I
But
really-
that's better than what we get.
I didn't expect that of his, combined name Lizzinator, Lizard would be the, less clear cut.
He doesn't look very lizardy.
No,
he's
he's
got-
more of a dragon.
He's got quite a bit of
He's
hair
got
as well.
hair, yeah.
His hair kind of looks like what I remember Hulk Hogan's hair to look like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like not washed.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he'd had a moustache,
yeah,
that would have been Hulk Hogan and Dragon.
the Hogan drag Hogan.
Dragogan.
Yeah, that's going to take some work. We'll get back to that.
Oh, if we can have our very small moment of comics talk, which has been requested very
Sure.
shortly, by talking about the teasers that Marvel's been releasing for their
In-
Secret Wars event.
Yep.
They've got a number of smaller events in them. One of them was a revisit of World War Hulk, or is it
Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk?
It's called Planet Hulks.
Planet Hulks.
Because there's many Hulks.
Yeah, and there's a number of Hulks from different universes, and one of them is a Hulk with Hulk Hogan hair and moustache, which is amazing.
Matt sent me a very happy message.
Yeah, so just go look at that. That's my recommendation for the week.
I'm going to put a link in the show notes. So the monster is super strong.
Yeah.
He
He has what material from...
Super metal skin
from another galaxy.
From another galaxy.
Yeah.
Impossible to penetrate.
So
Spoiler warning, they penetrate it.
Spoilers, he gets penetrated.
so Jason fights him for a while.
Yeah, one-on-one.
There's some car throwing action.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's some holding him by the throat and holding him up, and basically Jason gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then
And it happens in that one Japanese set they have, which is post-apocalyptic street,
Mm.
which makes it even more so dramatic when he gets beaten, because it's like, it looks like he's been beaten.
And so has the whole world.
That's right, he's already destroyed the city.
Yeah.
Because it looks like no one lives in the city anymore.
I will say it's a pretty good match to the set that they had Jason on.
Hmm.
That kind of fits.
Yeah.
So they all go back to the command center.
Yep.
Some of them are worried because they've kidnapped Kelly. Jason's worried because it's the Lizzinator. I don't even know if Billy and Trini have a line in this episode.
No, and neither does Zach, really.
Oh, sorry, and Zach, yes.
So, the three of them, I noticed that at the end, because I saw Zach, and I'm like, oh, Zach's on the team.
Zach's one line was when Tommy said he seems too powerful, I'll join you guys, and Zach seemed really homoerotically worried for him.
Yeah.
They probably all have a contractually obligated line in the episode to make them show up on
I'm
set.
sure all
but-
Billy said was his Zord line when he was in the cockpit of his Zord.
It's pretty quiet for them.
Yeah.
But, it puts the emphasis on a couple of them. I don't mind
Which
it
is fine,
necessarily.
that's just
yeah.
storytelling, that's not a big deal.
Are we able to talk about the episode that we're running?
I don't see any reason why not.
Okay.
It's coming up in 2 months from now.
Okay, so maybe we'll cut this bit.
Sure.
And go. So we're writing an episode of Power Rangers at the moment, just as an exercise using some sci footage.
Yep.
And one of the things we did was make sure that each of the Rangers has a substantial part in the episode.
Yeah, to some degree.
To some
Everyone
degree.
gets a moment.
Everyone gets
sort of
a
thing.
moment at least. It focuses on a few characters, but we made sure that everyone gets a moment.
Yep.
And I think that's why this is important, because you ever want to feel like you have a team show, we have a whole episode go by where that episode would have been unchanged completely by
If
that
they
person's
weren't there,
absence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does make me a little sad when they don't quite get to that,
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Billy gets to talk about the super metals from another galaxy.
Oh yeah, with his speedometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like a radar gun.
With an oscilloscope on the back, doing some green lights on a graph.
But at the command center, Jason said he must be strong if he can beat me. He's super powerful.
In fairness, this guy goes toe to toe with Goldar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But it's no, he was really strong. I fought this dude and he beat me, but it's not, he's really strong.
There is a sense of like fragile masculinity there.
Like he's impossibly strong. He's just I'm the manliest man, but he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger meets a lizard. With the manliest animal.
Actually, a lot like that.
So yeah, Zordon for some reason can't just see where Kelly is, despite knowing everything about whatever Rita does every other week.
Yeah, the fact that he can see the moon but not a cave.
Maybe it's line of sight.
Yeah, maybe there's lead paint or something. One of those like army radar camouflage tents.
That they set up.
Yeah.
Sure. So, quarry fight.
Yep.
Against the Lizzinator.
Yep.
Basically, it's just Jason for a while.
Yeah, because he brings down putties.
Putties as well.
And the putties are distracting the other Rangers. We don't really see that fight.
No.
But it's used as the justification for why Jason once
fights
again
him
has to go toe-to-toe with this guy.
So, there's a car that the Lizzinator tries to throw at Jason.
No, he's trying to push it off the cliff.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. He's trying to push it off
the quarry, yeah. It's the first thing he does. He's like, oh, another car, and then everyone shows up. So he's like shoving this car towards the edge of the pit.
Jason opens the door of the car.
Probably to try and rescue
who he thinks is in
whoever is inside.
It's a putty that
punches
him in the face. It's
amazing.
Great. I think they've got a genuine laugh out of it.
It's a good gag.
Yeah.
It's a good physical comedy gag. And it's really, this whole bit, they seem to emphasize the fact that this monster has a car thing.
Yep.
Because what he says is, another car for me to play with.
Yeah.
Then later when he's fighting the Zords, he's like, I can turn these Zord bits into toy cars. It's a really weird character trait for a giant lizard to have, that he really likes toy cars.
Especially because it's not like that's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger joke.
There's no...
Like, oh look, another housekeeper I can have an affair with. Like... That wouldn't have been a joke.
That's a bit heavy.
That wouldn't have been funny in 1993 either.
Yeah, the wrong time period for that reference. Yeah, it's just odd. Odd choice.
I guess they already had footage of it attacking two cars, so you might as well give him a car thing.
Yeah. But it was a pretty cool stunt scene.
Yeah, so Jason ends up... The putty in the car tries to run over Jason.
Yeah.
Jason ends up jumping on top of the
Landing on the car, yeah.
And then the Lizzinator shoots his laser eye beams at this car that's driving wildly out of control.
Yeah.
It is pretty good.
A lot of money went into that. Like, just on the pyrotechnics and getting a car and...
I think one of the things, too, is it's something they'd never be able to do on the American footage, probably for insurance reasons, because there's a guy on top of an actual car that's actually driving around wildly while explosions are going off.
You don't think they could do that?
I think they could. There's no chance they would do it with the budget they've got.
That's the thing. I think you could do it, but the insurance costs would be too high for them to do.
Michael Bay could do it.
Yeah.
But there's no way Power Rangers could do it. Certainly.
That's right.
So it was cool to see.
Yeah.
And it just was different. It was something completely new, and I'm always down for that.
So then the Lizzinator starts throwing and kicking rocks at Jason.
Yeah.
Which is just,
There's a
that's how
line
I'm going to
about...
kill you. I'm just going to...
How we can, I could beat you at any game or something.
And then Jason says, any game you want.
And then he says, how about soccer? And starts kicking
rocks.
Boulders.
Yeah.
So Jason's getting pretty beat up by this.
He actually gets significantly hurt.
He's not doing well.
I mean, he gets smacked in the chest with 2 boulders, and so the Lizzinator is about to throw a third giant one and says,
the coup de rock.
How about dodgeball? Is his classic line. They're clearly doing a pun thing. I feel like they were pushing the pun thing harder with the Lizzinator.
Yeah.
They were predicting what Arnold Schwarzenegger would go on to do in Batman and Robin.
So he throws this giant boulder to finish Jason off. It's up through the air.
Tommy's save is just fucking graceful. Honestly.
Tommy jumps in.
Flying double foot drill kick through the air. Kicks the boulder back at the Lizzinator.
As his theme kicks in.
Yeah.
And we get Green Ranger go.
His awesome theme kicks in.
You understand watching that why kids were like, holy fuck, I want to be the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
It's a good bit. He gets his theme music to start at that moment. It's just...
Yeah.
And
I mean, look,
good time.
Jason David Frank, reasonable guy.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of his popularity isn't on him.
It's on the Green Ranger.
He got a great opportunity to play an awesome character.
Sure. I think if someone else had played the Green Ranger,
Yeah.
they probably would have.
Yeah, I think like
Been in the same
if, for
boat.
example, Austin St. John and Jason David Frank had their roles reversed.
Yep,
And it'd be Austin St. John that was beloved
Sure.
now. Not that he isn't. He's
Yeah.
a cool dude.
he is a cool dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's contextual largely, I
Yeah.
think, and the fact that he got to go on to be the White Ranger.
Yeah.
he might
He got
not
to
have
hang
been as
around
fondly
for a while,
remembered.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then he sticks around forever.
It is on him though that he is engaged with and like supportive of that as his life, and like even like now he's like, yeah, you bet I was the ranger, and
That's
he runs
true.
these boot camps and stuff.
Yeah, like he took ownership of it.
someone else might not have done that same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right as that happens, basically,
Yeah.
we buzzkill straight back to Squatt and Baboo and Kelly in the cave.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Just when
because
you're thinking, holy shit, this fight might be enjoyable and I
You're-
might like
you're
watching
really
it.
into it, the theme music's playing, it's all going off, and then you cut back to the kid in the cave
Yep.
where they're doing cheerleading stuff. And like,
So,
oh,
first of all, Squatt and Baboo have no plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Clearly, yeah.
Like, they say maybe Rita will reward us for kidnapping the kid, but it was their idea, and it doesn't appear to help her in any way.
yeah.
So, Kelly gets the best flashback.
Yeah.
She gets, like, proper harp music,
Yeah.
and the screen
Yeah,
goes a bit
and an
wavy.
opacity overlay.
And, it
Yeah.
overlaid of Kimberly's, like, stirring
Kimberly's
speech
face, yeah.
on top. And we see the whole speech again.
Yeah, it's not just a cliff notes. You get the whole
It's not
thing.
like the one line that summarized the whole speech. It's the whole speech.
Yeah.
And so that gives her an idea somehow. And she offers to teach Squatt and Baboo some cheers.
Some cheers.
Yeah. And surprise, they're into it. They're like, yeah, that sounds like a
I'd
good
love
idea.
to learn some cheers, yeah.
They need to take a class on hostage taking or something. Like, can you imagine if, like, Alan Rickman in Die Hard takes some hostages, and then one of them's like, what if we did some cheers?
Can you untie me so I can teach you to dance?
And he's like, no, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
solid,
great.
solid.
Done.
Yeah.
That's definitely, yeah.
Alrighty.
That's the only reason I did this.
Does she have pom-poms in the cave?
I can't remember.
I have a feeling they all end up with pom-poms.
And yet she doesn't have pom-poms in the tryouts at the end.
Eh.
No.
You can't have pom-poms when you try out because they might cloud the judges' minds.
Pom-poms can do that.
Yeah, there's evil wizardry in
Yeah.
pom-poms. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, basically magical.
Chemtrails.
Oh, yeah.
So, cut back to the fight.
Yep.
The other Rangers arrive, having just beaten the putties.
Yep.
Rita decides that's the moment to make the monster grow.
Yep.
And monster grows, the Megazords come in.
Well, no. The Dragon Zord comes in.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
it,
Sorry,
yes,
you're
yeah.
right.
For some reason, the other Rangers don't summon...
They hang back while Tommy brings out the Dragon Sword.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been so easy to just have had the other Rangers still be fighting the putties at that point.
Yeah.
But, no.
Into the breaks.
I mean, the kids didn't notice.
Sure.
It is as simple as that.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, he tries to fight the Dragon Sword with the Lizzinator.
Yeah.
It's tough because he's got that unbreakable super metal skin from another galaxy.
Can't
Yep.
be penetrated.
So the Lizzinator picks the Dragon Sword up by the
By
tail.
the tail.
It remains upright.
We've
Yeah.
seen a couple of monsters do that.
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, obviously what happens is they attach a harness to the dude in that costume.
And
Yeah.
lifts
He
it.
gets lifted in the air. Someone else grabs the tail and spins him around.
Yeah.
It looks so incredibly fake.
Yeah. But it kind of looks great. For some reason, the really obviously physically impossible things kind of look cool to me.
It's sort
like
of...
when they do that thing where they get up by like flipping up over themselves into the air. Like, yeah.
It sort of implies that there's like some sort of weird fixed joint at its tail.
Yeah.
And if you lift it by the tail, you can lift the whole body.
Or just that they have their own weird like gravity systems or something.
They're so big that they just interact strangely.
Yeah.
So he throws it over, basically. They summon the Megazord.
Yeah.
Um,
We get a few of those cool alternate Zord entries. Like the one that Tim...
spinny pterodactyl.
Yeah, Tim commented on the one where the
Yeah,
pterodactyl
the pterodactyl does a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't that there every week?
do a barrel roll. And it kicks up some dust when it does it, which
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
really sells it.
Comes really close, like that wingtip
Yeah.
comes close to the ground. That wasn't safe, but
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah. That's just Kimberly showing off.
Yeah, like, guys, did you know I'm actually sick as fuck?
I like the idea that she's just been practicing as a pilot.
Yeah.
And she retires as a Power Ranger, goes on to fly like S-16s or something.
Yeah.
So look, the Megazord also can't penetrate its outer body made of super metals from another galaxy.
Yeah.
So they called Titanus. Very careful that time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick. They summon the Ultrazord. Somehow the Ultrazord's guns
Absolutely obliterates it in like one moment. I actually missed it. That's how like effortless it was. I was writing something down and I looked up and there was a smoking wreck on the screen. I'm like, oh, wasn't that hard?
Yeah, it turns out impossible to penetrate means kind of difficult to
Means
penetrate.
try your hardest.
Yeah, unless
and
you
it'll
try.
be fine.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I mean, I know the show has set up the shitty only use your weapons, never escalate policy, but
it does make you wonder why they don't immediately get Titanus out every time.
yeah, like it's a giant monster that you're trying to destroy.
I mean, even not every time, but like when the Dragon Zord couldn't do it.
Morally, I don't think they would feel bad
No.
if they just used the Ultrazord instead of the Power Sword.
Yeah.
It's not like skipping straight to the Ultrazord when he's small and like crushing it underfoot.
Yeah.
Although that'd be worth one watch.
It
You know what I mean? Like that's a good episode.
would be a cool episode.
Rangers,
And it'd be like that scene in Raise the Lost Ark where the guy comes up with the sword
Yeah.
and it's like, bam.
Rangers, Rita has summoned Globutron. I'm Globutron.
And then
Right.
like the next 15 minutes of the episode, they're just hanging out of the juice bar.
Yeah,
like,
all relationship drama for the rest of the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Wasn't it weird the way we took down Globutron so quickly? Yeah, I don't know why we don't do that every week.
I have this massive crush on Tommy. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine. We'll do that instead.
So back at the cave,
Yeah.
Kelly is teaching them some cheers.
Before we get there,
Yeah.
the Lizzinator has a particular Austrian accented line,
Yeah.
a particularly significant.
Oh yeah,
line.
yeah.
When does he say that?
The first time he teleports away after fighting Jason.
Right, you can probably guess.
He says, like, this fight was too easy. I'll be back. It's great.
No.
Astonishing.
Matt thinks it's dumb.
I think it's illegal. Like,
I
don't think you can copyright that, but you should be able to.
I think we have had a string of great monsters.
No.
We've had Pumpkin Rapper, we've had Soccadillo, we must have had another one before now, but I don't remember what it was.
another quality one I can't remember.
Look, I was on board with Pumpkin Rapper because that was
Of course you were!
that was at least creative. This was just lazy. If it was something that looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger or was Austrian themed somehow.
What?
But
it had an apron?
'Cause-
I don't know what's Austrian.
The thing is,
Clearly.
you could have had this gimmick with literally any other monster, including the Pumpkin Rapper.
If the Pumpkin Rapper had been Arnold Schwarzenegger, that would have been too much for my heart to take.
Alright, so back to the juice bar.
Oh no.
No, sorry, back to the cave.
Yes.
They find what's-her-face? Kelly. Because she has used her cheerleading to make those two guys dizzy, basically.
Yep. They fall over.
They fall over and
They
decide...
teleport away.
They teleport away because they don't like being dizzy, essentially.
Yep. That's it.
That's
Shit
it.
at kidnapping.
Yeah. The Power Rangers turn up, don't have to do anything because the kid has already resolved the problem that the superhero should be fixing.
Yep.
And she's like, yay, the Power Rangers. End of scene.
Yep. They're lucky that Bulk and Skull's plan wasn't to eat her, because they'd have been about 20 minutes too
Not
late.
Bulk and Skull.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Space Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
You know who I mean. It's like, you know how in productions of Peter Pan, the kid's father also plays Captain Hook?
Yeah.
That
Like
should be
that.
the same way, yeah. So yeah, back at the juice bar, then we see Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
They come in, they tease Kelly,
Yeah.
which feels much meaner
It
than they
does.
normally are.
Because they're normally mean to people who are as old as them.
Yes.
And it's like, haha, look at this dumb kid.
Yeah.
Like,
It's normally a bit of back and forth as well. It's
Yep.
like they
I
feel,
mean, which it was this time as well.
yeah, but I feel like normally
through
it's
Kimberly.
them feeling insecure about themselves in that peer group.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay.
And lashing out.
And yeah, exactly. But you like, this is just...
Them
It's just
picking
being
on a
mean
child.
to a 13-year-old.
It's just villainy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she tells them to go pick on someone with their own IQ.
Yeah.
And Kimberly says, yeah, the zoo's that way.
No, she says, I think the zoo is down the street.
Which is not kind.
It also shows Kimberly's poor knowledge of geography. Either the zoo is down the street or it's
yeah,
not.
I mean, either the zoo is next to the juice bar or it's not.
Exactly.
You definitely know where the zoo is in relation to...
They're hard to lose. They're quite large.
Come on, Kim.
Very significant.
Wasn't that a Leo DiCaprio movie? We Lost a Zoo.
Is that the prequel or sequel to
That's
Reborn?
the sequel. It comes after. Yeah.
They just wake up. Where's the zoo gone?
It has the Muppet style plot where like someone buys the zoo out from under them, but it's called We Lost the Zoo.
I would watch that film.
And then they have to put on a show with because they get to keep their animals, and they have to put on a show to raise money to get.
Wait,
the zoo
who
back.
buys a zoo and just buys like the buildings and doesn't buy the
I don't
animals?
know, oil tycoons. I don't know. It's not my movie.
We're going to use this empty zoo to make pollution.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. They just put cars that run in all the cages. They just have cars idling with petrol fucking funneling in. And they're like, yeah, this is a great idea.
They just have over there. They just have a pit of petrol that just burns.
Burns. Yeah, have the tire fountain burning. Yeah.
This sounds like a Captain Planet bad guys plot.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, it's the loot and plunder car
They
zoo.
replaced all the animals with cars and just let them idle. But it's like a full-time maintenance job of like refilling petrol, restarting the batteries.
It's hard work.
Yeah,
It is
it's not easy.
Do they have them on treadmills so they're driving but not going anywhere?
Yeah, with bricks on the pedal.
Oh, that's amazing.
car zoo.
We lost the cars.
Mark Wahlberg, Scarlett Johansson coming next summer. So Bulk does a cheer.
Yeah.
He rips his pants.
Yeah.
No, doesn't he fart?
I don't think...
It sounded more like a farting noise to me than a...
I think it was their
pants-tearing
fake
noise.
pants tearing noise, you know?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we never see the tear or the gas.
That's why I figured it was gas, because I thought they would have shown the tear.
It's unclear. He does something embarrassing when he bends
But
over.
then Skull does cover...
Maybe he's trying to
rear.
keep the smelling.
Maybe, yeah.
So anyway, that's it for Bulk and Skull. That's their
Took care
contractually
of
obligated
themselves.
30 seconds of an episode.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's about the right amount of Bulk and Skull, to be honest.
Yeah, if we could keep it that...
Them actually being absent from the first half of the episode made me go, hey, it's Bulk and Skull, which is not a thought I've ever had before.
Which ought to be your reaction.
Yeah. Maybe they'll go up to some hijinks.
There's a version of the show in which you're happy to see them.
I don't know that that's true.
I mean, it's the version where they don't show up that often, is all.
So Kelly does like a dance. I kind of assumed that it would be the cheer she was trying to learn.
Practicing, yeah, was not that.
No, that does not happen. And it also looks more like Zach's style of, like...
It's very
hip-hop
hip-hoppy.
Yeah.
She's very good.
Oh, sure. Like, she's definitely a dance student.
Yeah. And then... No, I guess everyone is happy.
Everyone's happy.
Yes, everyone is happy.
We don't-
What is this human emotion?
No, I think what's weird about it is there's no one being like, you're
You're
accepted.
in it, yeah.
It's like, it's just enough that she did it and wasn't terrible. It doesn't matter if she got in the team
Well,
before.
it's just there's not a person who goes, you're in.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
think-
just,
We couldn't pay another teenage girl extra.
yeah, we couldn't give someone else a line.
What we don't see is the really depressing next 30 seconds, which is the judge coming in being like, that was pretty good. Unfortunately, didn't quite make the cut.
Yeah.
We don't see the part where she becomes like a high school teenager, goes on to professional adult cheerleadering, is, constantly underpaid and undervalued, and ends up like 36 and on meth in a caravan somewhere.
You're working at a pole dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was bleak.
Don't be a cheerleader, kids.
I mean, unless you want to, whatever. Just have other options as well.
What if you like meth and trailers?
Who doesn't?
Well,
I mean, me. I'm just asking.
but that's why you're not a cheerleader.
Yeah, it's a question. And then that's it.
That's it.
So,
End of episode.
the Lizzinator, Matt.
Yeah.
Look, I think there's going to be a difference of opinion here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be our first major. Because I want to drop him to the bottom, like tie an anchor to his leg and send him down the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't dislike him that much.
No, you love him.
I mean, I don't... I'd be happy for him to go in the bottom half of the list.
Okay.
I don't think he's worse than Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
Well, no, the thing is, we
Or the
like
Wheel
Mrs.
of
I
Misfortune.
think Mr. Tickle Sneezer was fantastic.
Yeah, he's just not a villain, which is
Yeah,
why
it's
he's
just,
down there.
it's just basically them being horrible to like an autistic nod.
Yes,
Right.
it's true. Yeah.
In a dream.
Potentially, yeah.
So how many do we have on the list at the moment?
That's a good question because I've not updated the numbers.
Okay,
but,
so somewhere in the
about
range of
50.
About 50. So as long as he's in the bottom 25, I'm happy.
Sure. Do you think he's better than the slippery shark from last week?
Oh god, I missed out. Just out of curiosity, can you give me the cliff notes on Slippery Shark?
He's like a shark man.
Who was slippery?
Did you see Street Shark Sim?
No,
Oh, okay. The show? Like Street Shark? No, okay.
no.
So he
Tim's younger than us, man.
all right. He can go like a shark does in the water, but on land. So he's under the ground. You can only see his fin.
Oh right, okay. He's a land shark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which,
cool.
which sounds cool. He does nothing with it, and it becomes annoying because he does it for so long without achieving anything.
Also, he's got a boomerang that can make people not be friends.
Oh man, you know what? There is nothing to say to that. Oh boy, I hope he's on top. That sounds like a winner.
So, come on. Lizzinator was better than Slippery Shark.
I don't think so, because at least, like as you said, you said that to Tim, and Tim was like, "That's
quality.
It's not good, but it's interesting."
What I'll say is that is like a character decision. This whole villain was a gag.
Yeah,
the whole time.
A lazy gag put over the top of a monster with no interesting traits.
Is he better than Dramole?
I don't think so.
Better than Frankenstein?
Yeah, probably better than Frankenstein.
Who
At
was
least there
just
was
Frankenstein?
a small amount of original thought.
Was
in
he
at least the
Frankenstein
design.
or Frankenstein's monster?
He was Frankenstein's monster.
That would have been weird if he was Frankenstein. Hey?
Yeah.
Just a giant German scientist.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just spends the whole time worrying about life and death and God and nature. And it's like,
Was he better than Fighting Flea?
Again, I don't think so.
Okay, fine. We're putting him just above Frankenstein then.
Okay.
Which is fourth from the bottom.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
I am happy.
out of curiosity, who's at the top?
At the top?
Who is the best?
Well, we could talk about that right now, because that person is also in this episode.
Yes.
It's Squatt.
Yes, it is.
Now, when monsters reappear, we like to reevaluate them a bit, just to make sure the list is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Squatt's at the top because he's a very effective dude.
Yep.
Who succeeds in most of the things he puts his mind to.
Yeah.
In this episode, two things happen. He goes to kidnap a girl, does that flawlessly.
Yep.
That works.
But he does get tricked into
Defeated by her.
He
as
gets
well.
bamboozled by dizziness. Yes.
But to me, and this may just be me, the fact that he wanted to learn to be a cheerleader is endearing.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
So it's not just me.
No.
I was like, he's a cool dude. You know, he's a very effective monster, but he also has an interest in the arts. He has a tender side. It may just be that I will never stop loving Squatt,
That's probably true.
and I have rose-colored glasses, but I'm happy to keep him at the top. After
Let's
this
leave him there now, and
Yeah.
if he has another fuck up, we'll
Okay.
have to consider dropping him.
All right, cool. On the other hand, Baboo is just the nothing. Like,
He's just there.
he's
yeah.
just there. He's always just there. Baboo's Squatt's there doing awesome
I mean,
stuff.
he's literally the skull to
Yeah.
Squatt's bulk.
Doesn't add anything.
Yeah.
But even Skull has character
Yeah.
Yeah,
every
sure.
now and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I feel like the show wouldn't be any different without him.
No.
You know?
That's true.
If Squatt and Baboo were one character.
Yeah.
called Squatt.
Squaboo.
If it was just Squatt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Squaboo.
No Squaboo.
Not Squaboo.
No Squaboo.
A Babot?
Would he just be like a skinny top half and then a really fat bottom half?
What, pear shaped?
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, that was Enter the Lizzinator.
That was a beefy episode. It's
Yeah.
over an hour of quality entertainment we've just provided.
Yeah, that's right. Leave us a review, guys. So we will be back next week with football season.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about like American football.
I know for an Australian a decent amount. so-
Okay. Well, you will have to educate us next week.
Yeah, I'll
I
teach you.
suspect there'll be very little football in that 20 minutes.
Oh, there'll be some throwing and catching of a football, but
Will it be like a Jason mentors a young child scenario?
I was imagining it was going to be Jason.
But Jason's already had that episode with his cousin and the mirror.
And the
thing,
Soccadillo.
They've all really had that episode.
Have they?
To a greater
I don't
extent.
think it's a Trini episode.
No.
No. Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't know.
we'll find out next
Kimberly
week.
just had hers. Doesn't seem likely to be Zach.
We'll find out next week, guys, I guess.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you then.